Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Daniel, aka Floppy Penguin, and I have a huge announcement. As you can tell by the shirt I'm wearing, I have officially signed with Coolwick, and so I am on hashtag #BeCoolStaff. Let's go. I am super excited about this announcement, but also this comes with some really good news for you, the viewers, as well. So be sure to subscribe below, because I'm going to be coming out with a giveaway very soon. We have some jersey designs already in the works for a couple of different jerseys that I'm going to have from Coolwick, and I'm going to be giving away one of these jerseys. You'll have the choice between two of them, and I'm so excited for this because I have been working here at Bowler Smart for almost a year now, and I have kind of had some thoughts about someone partnering with my YouTube channel to help me give the best content for you guys possible in the bowling world. And I'm so excited because Coolwick has stepped up and offered this, and I'm so excited. So I'm officially on Coolwick's staff as of today, and I'm so excited. So thank you guys for all of your support. It has been a great year so far in 2025, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of the year has in store. Now, with that said, let's dive into today's video.
What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Hello, everyone. Hey, guys. Welcome to today's video. I'm Daniel. I'm here in Iowa, Gold Coast Casino. I'm ready to give you guys another vlog.
All right, everyone, let's dive into the topic for today, which is going to be all about the team event at the USBC Open Championships. So welcome to my new series. This is episode 2, talking about the Open Championships, also known as USBC Nationals. And I am excited to talk about this because this is one of my favorite aspects of the Open Championships, and that is a team game plan, right? Having a team strategy that you can employ whenever you're bowling the team event to really help one another out, and it does help the other team that's on your pair as well. So if you go with multiple teams out there, then this is extremely beneficial for both teams that are on your pair of lanes, which is incredible. And I really enjoy this aspect of it because you get to work together with other people to work towards a common goal. And it's very helpful and beneficial for everyone on the pair if they stick to that game plan and if the game plan is structured well. Now, with that said, how do you have a well-structured game plan? Well, let's talk through that. So first of all, I have some printouts of the last 3 years of oil patterns from the USBC Open Championships. So since we're talking about the team today, then that's what we're going to spend our time focusing on with the oil patterns, is the team oil patterns. So for example, last year, the 2024 USBC Open Championships team oil pattern in Las Vegas, Nevada, it was 39 feet and had a volume of 28.85 milliliters, almost 29 mils. Now, what I remember about this, I actually had front 10 and 289 out there. I'll show a quick clip of that right now. I had that 289 by throwing a 900 Global Zen U, which is urethane, slow wheeling it, nice and easy and simple, from about 10 to about 4 down lane. And I switched to that the second game because the first game I had nothing. So our game plan as a team last year was to go in very similar to every year really, where we go out there and we work together on breaking down the gutter. We use a lot of surface on our reactive balls to break down the gutter, maybe throw a shot or two with plastic down the middle. We did have one guy that was doing that, shout out Justin, to give us extra hold, while the rest of us were burning up the outside part of the lane with reactive resin that was very dull and sanded. We had some Abralon pads. Speaking of which, if you don't have Abralon pads, you desperately need to get them before you go to the USBC Open Championships, because they will help you so much in quickly changing the surface of your bowling ball before the end of practice, which is legal. But after practice ends, you cannot touch it with any more Abralon pads, so you might as well put them away after that. But having a game plan for your team is crucial. That's normally our game plan. Now, the interesting thing is, between 2024 and 2023, there's quite a difference if you look at the oil pattern. 2023 was in Reno, Nevada, and at that one, it was 42 feet, and it was a total of 27.2 milliliters. So it was a few less mils, but it was longer by 3 feet. And the interesting thing is, it definitely felt like it when I was bowling out there, but I still was using urethane. And I'll show you a quick clip of me throwing that out there in the team event in Reno. Interestingly enough, about 2023, I did mediocre that year. I had a pretty mediocre year. It was my first ever time bowling in Reno. So for the team event, we had a similar strategy where we went out and we tried to break down the gutter as much as possible and then use that friction as our miss room to the right. The reason that we specifically break down the gutter is because our team has a preference to play the gutter. We love playing further right. We love to break it down and find that friction because we'd rather play the friction than the hold. And what I mean is, whenever you have extra hook on the outside, at least for me personally, it gives me a lot more confidence to know, hey, I can still miss a board or two right, and I'm going to get to the pocket. I might not carry a strike, but I'm going to leave a makeable 99% of the time because I'm getting the ball to the right spot, and at least it's shaping off of the gutter. And if I do hit my target, that's when it's 10 back all day. But the thing is, I'm human. I'm not perfect, so I'm going to miss my target. So how can I create the most miss room, and how can we create the most miss room as a team to effectively get to the pocket and then carry more strikes? And it's great because from there, you let it take over whenever you have that miss room, and you get more confidence, you loosen your swing, you relax more, and everybody has a better time, and everybody tends to bowl better when they have more miss room. That's why so many people bowl well on house shots, because house shots are a 10-to-1 ratio, where there's 10 times as much oil in the middle part of the lane as there is on the outside on a typical house shot. Whereas these patterns, in 2024, the ratio was 1 to 2.04. So there was 2.04 times as much oil in the middle as there was on the outside. You might say, Daniel, that still sounds like a lot. Well, it's a decent amount, but it sure isn't a lot. 10 to 1 is a ton. That is a completely insane ratio, and that's why house shots are so scoreable, because it's so dry on the outside, whereas at the Open Championships, it's not as dry on the outside typically, where you're going to see a lot more of that oil on the outside. And most of the time, it is between a 2 and 3 to 1 ratio at the Open Championships, the majority of the time. And speaking of which, in 2022, it was the exact same pattern as 2023, interestingly enough. But it was in a completely different bowling center. So the 2022 Team Open Championships pattern was also 42 feet and 27.2 milliliters. But the interesting thing is, it was in Vegas. It was not in Reno. It was in Vegas. And so it played a little differently. Now, if I think back to this pattern, I remember I didn't throw urethane as much, although I tried to force it. I do have a clip of me bowling at the 2022 Open Championships in the team. And in that clip, you see that I was not throwing urethane, definitely a little further left, and trying to loop the lane a little bit more. Now, what's interesting is on a 42-foot pattern, I normally wouldn't think to throw urethane right off the bat. But because I knew I was bowling in Vegas at the South Point Casino Plaza, I knew that I wanted to throw urethane to at least try it. And ultimately, that led to me forcing urethane because it wasn't quite the ordeal unless you could throw it slow enough. But at that point, I had not realized how to slow down my ball speed with urethane to slow roll it, as they say, or slow wheel it even. And so I was not capable of doing that at my best, so I didn't do it. So instead, I threw resin, and I had a great time throwing the 900 Global Zen. And I remember that was the ball of the year for me that year, and it helped me out a lot at the Open Championships in 2022. Now, with that said, having a game plan as a team to go out there and figure out what your strengths are, play to your strengths. If all 5 of you happen to really enjoy playing the gutter, like we do, then take some bowling balls that you're comfortable sanding and just blast them with Abralon pads, like 500, 1,000, whatever you do in practice. Accurately break the pattern down to help you and your teammates effectively. Now, what that means is, if you prefer playing the gutter, like I said, use Abralon pads and break down the gutter in practice. But do not let anyone throw a shot with a fresh sanded surface left of 7 or 8, because all of a sudden you're going to start beating up the middle of the pattern, and when that happens, you're going to take all your miss room that you're trying to create, and all of a sudden the middle of the pattern is going to be scorched, and now you're going to force everyone further left than they are comfortable playing. So that can hurt you more than it can help you. On the other hand, if you prefer playing more left and more inside and kind of fading the ball, then take a plastic or urethane ball and roll it down the middle part of the lane as much as you can in practice as a team to create hold, because plastic and urethane don't absorb oil, but they take it from the front part of the lane and deposit it in the back end, so it carries down the oil and it creates more hold for you, and it stretches out the pattern, so to say. So it can turn this 39-foot pattern from last year into a 40 or 41-foot pattern pretty easily in practice, just by the amount of bowling balls that you're able to throw that are plastic and urethane down the middle to stretch it out and create hold. Now, this also means that you have to talk to your teammates about this. So be sure to send this video to your teammates if you are bowling the Open Championships this year, to effectively create and strategize a game plan that can help you have the most success as a team in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this year. So thank you guys for joining me today. Be sure to leave a like below and a comment as well, telling me when you're going to the Open Championships, or if you've already been. Perhaps you have, and I'd love to hear how you did. So guys, thanks again for checking it out. Share this with your friends if you're going to the Open Championships and you want to be sure and strategize as a team and have a great time this year. God bless, and I'll see you in the next episode.